Flashback 8 years ago. Jungkook was not always this powerful. He was not feared, respected, or untouchable. He was young, warm, hopeful. And he loved only one girl, Suhana. She was soft spoken, simple, kind in a way the world no longer understood. She loved him without expectation, without fear, without limits. Jungkook wanted to marry her, start a life with her, run away if needed. But his father hated her, ordinary, useless, bad for the family image. Jungkook didn't care. But power did what love couldn't fight. One night, Suhana house caught fire. People call it an accident. Jungkook knew it was not. He rushed through the smoke and flames, hand bleeding, throat burning, screaming her name, Suhana. But she never opened that door. He watched her fade behind the flames. He watched his future burn to ash, and the man responsible, the same one who called him tonight. Jungkook never forget, never forgive. Back to present. The flashback shattered. Jungkook stumbled a step back, breathing heavily. He hated remembering, hated the weakness, hated the pain still living inside him. But this time something was different because this time Ryan was involved and Ryan was connected to the same man, the same enemy, the same monster. No wonder Jungkook felt drawn to her, no wonder he felt protective, no wonder he couldn't watch her suffer. History was repeating itself and Jungkook refused to lose another woman to the darkness. He looked at Ryan's picture on his phone, not smiling, not happy, but hurting quietly. And he whispered, I couldn't save Suhana, but still save you, Ryan. The morning sun touched the city gently, but Ryan's word was far from gentle. She sat at the dining table, finger trembling slightly as she poured tea. Her husband Arjun walked past her without even looking at her. Not a good morning, not a glance, not a single word. Just cold silence, and then, as usual, a complaint. This tea is too cold, he muttered, not even tasting it properly. Ryan stayed quiet. She always did. Her silence was her only weapon, her tears, something she carried only behind closed doors. But today, something felt different. There was a sharp knock on the door. Arjun frowned. At 9 in the morning, who the hell? He opened the door, irritated, and froze. Wine from where she sat felt her breath stop too. Because standing there in a crisp black suit, hand in his pocket, eyes cold and unreadable, was John Jungkook. His presence filled the entire doorway as if the air itself bowed to him. Arjun swallowed. What are you doing here? Jungkook didn't answer him. He simply shifted his gaze to Ryan slowly, deeply, like he was searching her soul. That one look felt like a storm meeting a fragile leaf. Ryan's heart started beating painfully fast. Then Jungkook finally spoke, voice low, sharp, and firm. I have come to take what's mine. Arjun stiffened. Ryan blinked, confused. Jungkook walked inside without permission, every step heavy with authority. He stopped right in front of Ryan, leaning slightly. He whispered, pack your things, you are coming with me. Ryan breathed hard. Arjun bawled, are you insane? She is my wife. Jungkook turned slightly, a cold smile touching his lips. Oh, that's interesting, because I don't remember you treated her like one. Arjun clenched his jaw and Jungkook stepped closer, not touching him, but his aura alone pushed Arjun back. I don't take away anything that belonged to someone, Jungkook said, expect when they don't deserve it. Ryan shook her head softly, whispering, Jungkook, why are you? He leaned closer to her, voice dangerously gentle, because you are not safe here, and I am done watching with you suffer. Her eyes widened. Arjun shouted, "She's not going anywhere." Jungkook didn't even look at him this time. He simply said, voice deep and final, "Try stopping her. I promise you won't live to regret it." Room fell silent, terrifyingly silent. Jungkook froze. Arjun froze. Mayan felt her hand trembling. And Jungkook stood beside her like a dark shield, eyes daring the word to touch her. Then he extended his hand towards her. "Mayan," he said softly, "come with me." Not a command, not an order, but something almost vulnerable. Her hand twisted painfully. No one had ever asked her what she wanted, not until now. For a moment, silence ruled the living room. Ryan stared at Jungkook's outstretched hand, a hand that promised safety, protection, maybe even love, something she had never received from her own husband. Arjun snapped out of shock and grabbed Ryan's arm roughly. "You are not going anywhere, do you understand? You are my wife." Ryan whined in pain. Jungkook's eyes darkened intensely. He didn't shout, he didn't rush, he simply took one step forward and removed Arjun's hand from her with a grip so strong it touched her again. Jungkook said quietly, "And I will break every bone in your hand one by one." Arjun pulled back terrifyingly. Ryan looked at Jungkook, and his eyes, she saw something she had never seen in anyone's eyes. Unshakable certainty, unquestionable protection, fearless devotion. Her voice trembling. "Why are you doing this?" Jungkook leaned closer, his voice barely above a whisper. "Because someone should have protected you long ago." Her heart throbbed painfully. No one had ever said that to her, ever. Ryan looked back at the same she had lived in 2 years, a home filled with silence, pain, insult, and worries. Then she looked at Jungkook, the man who walked into her life like a storm but stood in front of her like a shield, breathing shakily. Arjun shouted, "Ryan, sit down, I'm warning you." But Ryan took a step towards Jungkook, a small step but the loudest she ever took. Arjun's mouth fell open. Jungkook's eyes softened for the first time. That morning he extended his hand again. Ryan placed her trembling finger into his, and the moment their hand touched, it felt like the earth shifted beneath them. Jungkook immediately pulled her slightly behind him. His stand protective territorial. Arjun lunged forward. Ryan, come back. Before he could ever reach her, Jungkook punched him hard. Arjun fell to the floor, coughing blood. Jungkook's voice was low, controlled, terrifyingly calm. "She walked away from you. That means she's no longer yours." Arjun whimpered. "She will regret this." Jungkook coughed down, grabbed Arjun's collar, and whispered in his ear, "No, you will." Then he stood up straight, looked Ryan's hand again, and turned towards the door. Ryan looked back one last time. Her old life lay broken behind her. Jungkook whispered, "From now on, you don't walk alone." And with that, Ryan stepped out of the house for the first time. What Jungkook did, or what he was doing for Ryan, might have been love, obsession, or perhaps guilt for not being able to save the one he loved. But for me and my Ryan, he was a protector, someone who saved her from a hellish life. The end.